You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop podcast with ChopMaster J.
Oh yeah, yeah. ChopMaster J, the Chop Shop. Chop Shop, Chop Shop, Chop Shop. ChopMaster J. Oh yeah, Judy Klein, Judy Klein. So too, son of the underground. Here we go,
You all tuned in to the Chop Shop podcast with ChopMaster J.
It's a new day, but the same shit. On a whole new type slave ship. Never was with you on another page. In a nigga life or put you in a cage. Have your soul exit stage right if they may. Put your black fist down, have you contained. Drain a person's spirit if you don't know the truth. Not my America is what I conclude. Under scope, they know what they do. Fuck with your mind and have you consume. Have your body lying on the avenue. They was in the right, is what you assume. They dancing to the light of a whole other tune. Showing who they really are like you already knew. What you thought, Ronnie King was a fluke. Them history books ain't telling the truth. Oh my, they can't tell no more lies. I just wanna live life, not be stereotyped. The fear is deep down inside. Wanna steal your shine, but this is our time. Revolution, not televised. It's going down in your area, yeah. It's mass hysteria. Hard to love ya, cause they really fearing ya. It's mass hysteria. Take your whole life in a sack, they killing us. It's mass hysteria. Don't take it lightly, bruh, take it serious. It's mass hysteria, it's mass hysteria. 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 It's mass hysteria, it's mass hysteria.
Another body found in the ground uploaded. Another warning shot turned clip.
Oh yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop with yours truly, ChopMaster J, Judy Klein, and my main man, So Too. You know, I think that it would be essential to make sure that we stand up for ourselves independently and pull up and celebrate and take care of our own and take care of ourselves in this 21st century. Try to imitate some of the let's take a page out of history and go back and do some of the retrace our steps and go back and do some of the good stuff that we used to do as a people and do it 21st century style. I'm with you. You're absolutely right. We should definitely disconnect in a major way.
Yeah, because after the elections, black women were like, y'all going out there. We already did our part.
Right.
And when you see us pull back collectively and go figure it out for yourselves,
Right.
because we got this figured out. Listen, this is no surprise to us. This might be hitting Latinos crazy like a brick because they're like, oh, we thought we were white. Yeah, you're not. We have always been aware consciously that we are going to be discriminated against and we're used to it. So nothing that's happening right now is a shock to us. The
Right.
shock is there are people who expected it not to happen. It's happened our whole entire lives. I'm like, what? We've always been a racist ass country. Do we
Well,
not know that? Have we not figured
Well,
that out?
a lot of people, I think, with the idea of trying to have hope and trying to put things
Listen, God
behind us.
bless them. God bless them if they're not paying attention. And
Well,
they
a
won't
lot of
pay
people are
attention.
not. A lot of people have not.
And that's on them. and that's on them.
Well, yeah,
There's
but we
some,
all need each other, so it's gonna be about each
well,
one teach
do
one.
we though?
Yeah, kinda.
When you think about Darwin, right?
Yes.
Survival of the fittest.
Okay.
Not every idiot is going to be able to survive.
That's everybody not gonna make it.
Right. And that's the reality that we're dealing with. So, those of us who do know what time it is, what's really happening, how this process goes, what this country is all about, what the economics are all about, what the politics are all about, we are going to be the ones who still are standing.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
So,
Right.
I
Right.
I don't know what to say. All I know is, again, you should pay attention. And
right.
if you weren't paying attention because you were so busy watching, I don't know, MTV raps or whatever, or sitting up there in your own little bubble, not paying attention, I don't watch no news. Okay, well, you know what? You got to. It's time to grow up. Got to pay attention to what's going on. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. But when stuff happens, you can't rely on those of us who are informed to save you. We're too busy trying to save ourselves and our families
Right. Right. Well, and it
and
is
our communities.
right. It is really weird because how currently a lot of the historical importance of things have been eradicated, changed, or just not taught, or even taken down. Right, like they've done in Philly and those other places, and all the rest of that. Which that isn't new about how
Right.
they do that kind of
Nothing
thing
they're doing to us is new.
at
The
all.
only difference is switching up to different people, right? That's where the rage comes from. Because, the way they just handled white people in Minneapolis is the way they've been handling black people in this country for the past 50, 60, 70, 100, 250 years.
Right, right,
But it's like, oh my God, it's shocking now. Somebody shot a white woman. What? Somebody shot a white guy. What?
right,
Now everybody cares. Now everybody's enraged. It's like, yes, it's coming to you.
right.
It's
Exactly,
interesting because,
and you're right. That's what people say. If people would have rallied around when the injustices were happening to us, then chances are there may or may not have been a need for them to have to grieve about the same shit. And
and that part.
You know, um, I mean, I'm looking at the idea of there's Langston, Oklahoma, there's Greenwood, there's all the different towns that existed. And, somebody said something interesting the other day, too, when they talked about all of the great inventors and great inventions that black
Mm-hmm.
people have created were
Yep.
not created when our schools were integrated, were not created when um, certain situations where we were going to their institutions to learn. We created a lot of that stuff when we were in segregated schools or HBCUs or what have you. The great inventions came out of those learning institutions, not the other kind. So, it's always amazing. And I say that because how
Well,
it's expressed that for us to get better books or to learn somewhere else was better for us. And I don't think so.
here's the thing. I kind of do. I feel like everybody should have access to education, but what that's not what the system wants.
No,
They want there to be worker bees. They
workers, they
want
need
there to
labor,
be
right?
people, right, who don't have ideas, who can't bring their intelligence or their creativity to the forefront. So here's a really interesting example that kind of counters a little bit about what you said. I saw an article last week about some 15-year-old kid who invented some cancer soap to help fight
Right,
skin cancer.
right.
And he's in this modern era right now. So the issue is our creativity, our genius, our persistence, our resistance to whatever's going on around us is still going to allow us to thrive and create. Period.
I hear you, and I understand it, and I'm just saying that a lot of great, like, necessity is the mother of invention, and the idea of it all is a lot of some of the great inventions that occurred did not occur when Negroes were able to start going to other universities. They a lot of
And guess
them.
what? And they have been creating, we have been creating ever since. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
No,
matter
you're
where
right.
you put us. We are going to prevail.
Yeah, but
Period.
the the idea of it all is that a lot of times it's been said that that we can't learn in our own places and we need better opportunities to learn in better schools. And I'm just saying that I'm more than sure that people will gravitate, especially us, will gravitate to these better environments, quote unquote, better environments. But it didn't require that for us to be and to make us the people that we are and for us
Hmm.
to do what we did. I remember reading and checking out what was it, Horace Mann and
Yep.
Carnegie, and then when they got together and created that board education and or created the school thing, and Carnegie made the comment he doesn't need a country full of thinkers. He needs workers and laborers, and so the
Yes.
curriculum, the curriculum was as such, and so that's why we learned so much bull stuff growing up that wasn't necessarily something that we could actually use to be productive or compete for real. We learned some, everything.
Maybe 40 or 50 years ago, we did learn things that were valuable. And then we cut out the things that made people creative, right? So we got rid of music programs, right? It's important.
Yeah, yeah, it's mandatory in other countries. In other countries, it's not even viewed as extra or what do they call it in
Right,
school, an elective and all that.
right,
It
right,
wasn't that.
right. Because again, other countries are trying to build better communities, better citizens, better countries. We are not. We are just trying to keep the status quo for slavery, right? Economic slavery, let's just go in and get these low paying jobs and have everybody work their ass off to the ground so rich people can stay rich.
Well, and all of it, we kind of started this with talking about the different situations that we're being thrusted in, whether it is the cartels in Mexico fighting and killing each other and threatening the safety of people, period, over there. Um, the Jesse Jackson not being allowed to lie and state, which is ridiculous. Uh, um, uh,
Absurd.
yeah, I mean, I can
But what do
recall.
we expect? Look at the people who are making the decisions about it. Would you expect anything more intelligent or more classy from them? Absolutely not.
But see, I can't get past remembering certain things that Jesse did, like go and rescue my man and negotiate freedom for certain hostages and different people. Uh,
But they
uh,
don't listen, they don't care. All they care about is keeping the status quo of let's just make sure everything stays pure. What's the Pantone color of the year? White.
well, I hear you, but once again, I guess because we're older and live past what's happening right now, or the last 20 years, or 25, or 30, or 40 years. The idea of it all is I can recall, Judy Klein, I had told a story about being in a rehab center in Richmond, California during the 1988 Democratic Convention when Jesse Jackson, the Reverend Jesse, was running for president and came out and made this speech that had me literally bawling, crying. He talked
Yeah.
about being adopted. He talked about us as a people having to come together because our patch wasn't built big enough. He was talking about at that time that blanket and that thing that was being made, I think, in conjunction with AIDS and all that. But the idea of the patch of your blanket wasn't big enough as an individual and how we had to come together. And then also the mockery of the Just Say No to Drug campaign that the Reagans had fired up. And and this is when I'm sitting in a drug rehab center, and I'm outside my bedroom window with a 24 hour AM PM that happened to be a drug, also turned out to be a drug hotspot. So I'm in rehab watching people buy and sell drugs all night out my room, and the speech that was made really set me straight. It really gave me a lot to ponder and really put me on the right course. And after being let go or being released from the rehab, I mean, like within the week, we went out and created the song "Do What You Like," and my path was we moved forward, and so I know that Jesse
Beautiful.
Jackson unlocked the door for me. He unlocked something inside of me with that speech, and that as an orator, he's just incredible. You might be the last of the orators, unless you count Farrakhan, but the of the orators of that era, of our era growing up, he really is he's the last, one of the last of that. So
And here's the thing. When we honor those people,
yes,
we still honor them in our community. They
yes,
may not be heralded, they may not be honored, they may not be acknowledged. And unfortunately, the saltines cannot necessarily grasp the magnitude of these people to us. But as long as we hold the meaning of their impact for us, that's the most important thing, right?
sure,
So we have to go back, again, going further back in a couple of 100 years. Let's go back to being griots, right? In
sure,
our community, we pass history down, right? We
right,
talk about it. We tell those after us what went on before us.
right.
We can't rely
Up on
on
right,
we can't rely on, I don't know, media. We can't rely on none of these companies to tell us this, because they want us to think we are not great people like we are. They want us to think we are not as important or significant in world history as we are. So again, F them, don't care. Let's just keep doing what we do, what we always done, where we keep passing our stories on, and we keep our our stuff,
right.
our community, and we keep propagating it. And eventually there are people who slip through and go, "Oh my God, this is amazing. I didn't know this." And that's great. We love when people discover amazing things about us. But we have to be the ones telling the story.
Right. We cannot rely upon oppressors to want
No,
to
because
educate and teach.
colonizers can't tell our stories.
It
They
can't tell
never
it,
have.
and we shouldn't look for them to do
No.
so. And the idea of it all is that the idea of it all is, when you do look at the overall scheme of things, because you do have some new age folks who feel like, well, I'm not part of that system, or I'm not a part of that. I don't think that way. I love everyone. I feel like this, but it's so, what do they call it when it's so
Well, we'll give
systemic?
them an invite to the picnic and let's see what happens. If they show up with potato salad with raisins in it, then we know that they're not authentic, right?
Or we know that they are authentic, and to let them have that space, because you know what? The potato salad is cultural. It's not racial. It is cultural. But I hear you. I get it.
I
I
mean,
get it.
again, we need allies, and the allies who show up, and there have been some incredible allies showing up.
Through the years,
There
yeah,
have been
yeah,
amazing allies showing up for us
yeah.
and for everybody. And that's what it's about. That's what it should be about.
Right? No,
Because,
absolutely. Yeah, 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 yeah. Where are the Quakers when you need them?
right. Because when we stand up and say something, don't nobody want to hear from us. But when they stand up and say something, they're like, "Oh my God, that's poignant." I'm like, "Ugh, okay, oh yeah, okay, yay."
It is sad and it is crazy, and it's just, I guess, getting older, how much more obvious things are, because every day you got somebody to buy into this bullshit. And and whether it's somebody fresh that just gets over here that buying into it, or if it's people who I listen to, because I have been seeing lately, like in social media, I've been watching other um people other than ourselves want to tell our story out of their own outrage for their people, or for the way things are, because they may be like my good man Tom Wells. He tells me, look, Jay, he said, I'm white but I'm not whitey, and at the end of the day, I understand what he means, and God bless him. But so you have some good folks that are trying to tell a story. I listened to this guy interview this woman who wanted the Latino folks fired from the chicken ranch or the chicken farm. Did you hear that?
Oh
Thing?
God, no, no, I missed that because I'm not paying attention to them at all.
Well,
Mm-mm.
I just, something you
No, no,
scrolling.
and here's why. Listen, I love my Latinos, I love my Latinas.
Sure.
However, y'all bought
Right.
a box of bullshit
Sure.
thinking that y'all were going to be considered white, and you're not. And they are running around deporting all of y'all. Like it's like passing out potato chips, and it's like, what is wrong with you? That's like chickens for KFC. Are you serious? Did y'all really
Well,
do that?
it's the thing that we were just talking about. They got people who come here all the time, or people who are here who buy the bullshit every day. And the thing about it is, I remember the great Paul Mooney, sitting and talking and telling different cultures and races that you guys will eventually get your nigga wake up call, and how America is this melting pot. Yeah, it likes everybody's culture, but there'll be certain things they like about you, but not you. And so he said that the Mexican folk was going to have to understand that one day that the burrito can stay, but they got to go. And, or,
And that's true. And that's true. Because everybody, trust me, they all run around celebrating tacos, but they don't
Taco
want
Tuesday.
the coat right. They do not want anything to do with the diaspora of those people at all.
I don't
And
understand
it's
that.
sad.
Why?
Huh?
Why? I mean, it's like, because the other side of it is,
No,
it.
they just wanted the votes, right? They wanted the votes. They ran up there
All
and
right.
got the
Well,
damn
yeah.
votes.
Sure,
And they're
sure.
like,
But
oh, yeah, vote for me. We want to see you guys support us. But they treated them like garbage. And we're like, wait, y'all hold up. Don't do that. We knew already, right? We know already because I know personally, I had friends that I went to high school with who were like, oh, I'm Latino and I support Trump. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, I was like, how did you grow up in the same neighborhood I did with similar backgrounds? And you think, really? Wow. But there is that elitist thinking in some of these groups of people where they think, oh no, I'm going to go on ahead and pass. I'm going to pass through. They're not looking for me. And I'm like, wow.
well, yeah. It's almost like it's almost like those women who listen to Too Short records and be talking about,
Right.
when he say bitch, he ain't talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. It's like,
it's like,
wow.
the idea of that is ridiculous. The idea, first of all, of wanting to pass, but just more than anything else, I don't see where, unless you are a part of that elite money people or whatever, how do you not know that he's talking about screwing over all of us? So what makes you think that you're not included? Now, I really don't understand how you don't feel if you're not in that 1%. And even them, the way that this cat's doing what he's doing is enough to just tear the whole shit up. They might have a whole bunch of shit, but a whole bunch of nothing the way that it looks, but I could be wrong because I'm not in the 1% club, so I don't know exactly any of that. But the more importantly, all of the other folks, and y'all, those folks know they're not in the 1%. It's like, how could you buy or how could you think? Because even when I sit and I watch certain shows that are, journalists and political pundits and different people that are on these shows, and when somebody is over there, protecting the Republican side of things, it's how do you do that? Like, aren't you in fear? Like, aren't you scared too? Or are you one of the
No,
1%? Because how are you not scared of this? How are
no,
you?
because they think they have been brainwashed and they're
Is that
not.
what it is? Brainwash? Is it
It's
brainwash?
brainwashing. It's being not politically astute enough to understand how things work in this country. So folks are like, oh, this is great. Yeah, no, we're going to vote for this. And I'm like, wow. And then they turn around and take children from people and put them in cages. And that doesn't affect you?
Well, that's the thing.
The hell is wrong with y'all?
That's the thing, though. See, even like it really must be a trip for political science majors and people who really do understand
Yes, it is a trip for me.
democracy.
It freaks me out.
Yeah, because it's like I can re I can recall having conversations with you about different stuff, and you're going, "Oh, don't worry about that because it's got to do this, and then it's got to do that, and it's got to go through this process." And it's like, and we looked up, and it didn't go through none of that process, and they just jumped the line and did what the hell they wanted. And so, what I'm saying to you is, this shit then gone beyond political. This is just human. It's like at some point, the human aspect of it, damn the politics of any of this shit. The human aspect of it, how could you do it? Like how could you vote or how could you go along or how could you think for a moment that this crazy shit don't affect us all? I mean, and certainly those people that I'm talking about that will be debating the other side of the aisle or something. There's not no other side of the aisle, man. The theater is trashed, and it's just havoc. It's like the fighting Cooley High movie at the movie theater. It's just there is no side. It's just all stupid now.
It
So
is, Jimmy. And part of that is because we are, and it embarrasses me to no end to acknowledge this, accept this, that we are so undereducated in this country. We don't know shit about political science. We don't know shit about sociology. We don't know shit about anything because for the past 40 years, we haven't taught anybody anything. And part of that is orchestrated to keep people dumb, is to keep us
right.
unaware and unknowledgeable about how the world works, about how politics works, about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And when you have a populace of undereducated people, they're easier to rule and control, right?
Yeah.
So this has been a concerted effort, clearly, for the past couple of decades of keeping us dumb and keeping us ill-informed and uninformed.
Right.
And
Misinformed and
right, all that. So
misinformation and disinformation and
all of it, all of it.
well,
That's what we're
we
dealing with.
that is I beg to differ. We are real good at something out here, and that's hate. And there is hate that is flowing like none other because getting back to the lady's opinion of the chicken ranch and the Latino folks working there, she was so there was this guy that was he was talking to her very plainly, very matter of factly, asking her questions, and then when she would answer it, and then they're allowed to go upstairs and wash themselves clean, and yeah, so they shouldn't wash is what you're saying. They should stay there. It's like no, yeah, they should stay there. So no, they should be clean. It's like she didn't. He kept asking her questions, and her answers just kept being derogatory, and she didn't. And you could tell she didn't know why she hated these people. You could tell she couldn't rationalize. why she felt these people should go, because she was talking out of both sides of her neck, very naively, like very uneducated, like what you're saying. I mean, she had like she must have had a Jethro Bodine education. I mean, like,
Oh dear God.
you
Yeah,
know,
which is typical because when you think about, let's just talk about the level of undereducation in this country. The literacy rate, the illiteracy rate is so high, it's embarrassing.
right,
Even amongst college graduates, the illiteracy rate is high. It's like, come on, really? Like, how did you graduate from college and you can't really read and do reading comprehension?
right,
Like, we are, oh my God, we have celebrated stupid for so many years that you almost have to hide in shame to be intelligent or smart or to have a real thought. And that's scary and crazy. Like,
right,
really?
and or it doesn't matter. Like you could
Right.
like I
Right
remember.
now, discount you because the stupid people voted and the stupid people think it's okay. What?
I remember for many years going back and forth with my dad. I used to love to debate. And I can always remember the one time I felt like I won the debate. And instead of me feeling a certain amount of satisfaction, he took it away from me by saying, okay, so you're right. So now what? Like, being right after all of years of me being
Right.
right in a situation has no value. So what?
Yeah, and that is disgusting and that is horrible. And it is absolutely egregious.
Yeah, so
And
you know all that. You know all that.
it is not where we should be operating from as human beings. It is not.
Yeah, you know all that, but can you kick my ass? That's
Man,
that's
yeah,
when they came back down to the old Chris Rock shit, like,
right.
saying, yeah, can you kick my ass though? I don't care, you know all that. It's a sad state of affairs. It has made you, like, even like the trickery with these files, that for some reason, out of all the
Oh
horrible,
my God, let's talk about the files.
after all the horrible things that this cat's already been convicted of, 34 felonies and all the different stuff, me personally, am not so understanding of what is supposed to be in those files that's gonna be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like, god damn, if we ain't already there, so to know that he's a pedophile, that will be what we need to feel what we need to feel to do all we can to get him out of office, or to be able to want to sustain the shit that it would take to get him out of office, by all the crazy threats that they have. If you get him out of office, people are going to riot or whatever. It's like we're willing to stand up for that if that is the results, or which, and that's before you jump in, because I know you got a lot. The idea of it all is, once again, the game is, okay, well, we want to see the files. Oh, you want to see the files? Okay, well, we got 5 million pages. Good. Here you go. Y'all go, y'all go
But
through
he got
this.
Elvis in there, and I'm like, leave Elvis alone. Just
Oh my God.
put him in there. Elvis wasn't a pedo.
Well, he
Elvis,
did bring back a 14-year-old. He brought back a 14-year-old from Germany.
actually, you're right. Okay, I retract the statement. At least he did marry her eventually. But
But what shit? Elvis been dead since 1977. He couldn't have been in the Epstein file.
I know. But the, you know what? I can't. You know what? I can't even do anything with any of this right now.
Mm.
All I can say is, yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, all the distraction in the world
Right,
still don't pull from the fact that over in the UK, they're actually arresting people,
Andrew.
but not here.
They got Andrew.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, in the UK, People arresting people over here. We're sitting up here going, okay.
Well, I mean, a lot of things. Britain and the UK has been seen as moral authorities in this world for a lot of times to a lot of people, especially between here and America. But they're in America. But the idea of people making jokes about, well, they said Andrew's gonna give names. He gonna tell. And it's like wow, wow. It's like y'all don't know how to have all that money and enjoy yourself at all. Like, it's like it's like poor rich people. All they have is money. That's it.
And that's a beautiful statement right there.
I
Because
mean,
that right there also intonates there's no character,
right,
there's no morality,
right,
there's a lot of other things so missing in their existence
right.
that all they have is money. That's actually quite a beautiful and brilliant statement. I love that a lot. Thank you for that.
Well, yeah, it ain't mine, but I do. It does ring
Well, guess
true.
what? It's yours right now.
Right. Well, it rings truer and
Look,
truer.
go on ahead and be a colonizer and claim it as yours.
No,
Because
that's what I'm not. I'm not going to assimilate.
a place that was already inhabited.
That yeah, it's like that's and there's been so much of when you watch like for us as black folks who have always been the influence, have always been the culture, have always been all of the various different things that has been not taught to you of having an existence from agriculture to science to everything that there is. And so with that being stated, it's something that we are the folks that are always being emulated all the way down to even all the way down to dancing and culture and rap and music and all that. But even before that, religion, different
Our
things,
food,
all that, and just everything.
all
And
of it.
so the idea of when
FYI, people, Kraft did not invent macaroni and cheese.
but the show made it nasty and quick.
Well,
Yeah,
what they tend to do with the things that we create.
yeah,
Make it
yeah,
nasty
exactly.
and quick.
Right, microwave it. But idea, the idea of this, I don't think that there's anything worse than watching a black person emulate white people's behavior and shit. And when it does happen, when it does
Oh,
happen,
oh, when
when
has that ever happened? I've never seen that.
no, when it happens, it's the worst thing in the world. Like O.J. Simpson, he used to beat his wife and this, that, and the other, and they said he killed her and all the rest of that stuff.
Did
But
he though? Did he though? Because
yeah,
we all know
exactly.
what the real
No,
deal was.
we weren't there. No one was
Already
there, so
know. Look, we
nobody can
already
fucking
know.
say. Yeah, but
Look, we
no,
already know.
but the bottom line is that domestic abuse wasn't necessarily created in the poor black folks person's home. A domestic abuse was created in different folks' homes that weren't necessarily us. I if it's Bill Cosby dropping knockout drops in women's drinks and shit to do that, and from what I understand of Hollywood and stuff like not that it makes it right for Bill. Now, what I preface my comment is there's nothing worse than watching black folks emulate others' culture. And when we do it, it stands out like a sore thumb. None of us like it. It's
Are we
horrible.
or does it seem like we are? Is it orchestrated to seem like it is? Because I really feel like there's a whole lot of wag the dog going on out here.
Wag the Dog, Robert De Niro, and
Hey, I'm
Dustin
just
Hoffman.
saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying a whole lot of shit looks like some shit it ain't. Oops, did I curse? My bad. Bleep me. Oops.
Some poo poo. The bottom line is
Right.
the idea of it all is it's just, and I gave two real extremes with OJ and Bill because those were two guys that in my childhood were very prominent individuals that we kind of held near and dear based upon certain things back then. Anyway, the bottom line is that most of the stuff that we end up denouncing people out of our race for certain is stuff that you end up finding out later, or you end up knowing the history of the stuff, and it's emulative culture, and it doesn't work for us when we emulate others. It doesn't work
And
for
and
us.
guess what? We generally don't. But
No,
what
for the
we
most part, we
do,
don't.
no, no. But what we do is we find ourselves in situations where there is some causation that looks like we are emulating, and maybe it's real, maybe it isn't. Because what we do know is a lot of stuff has been orchestrated around people that is not true or real.
No doubt, no
So
doubt.
we got to reevaluate a lot of what we think and what we see, and we need to seek the truth.
No doubt, because the truth you must uphold.
Well, hey, I mean, a lot of stuff, a lot of it doesn't even make sense. But the way that the media machine blares it out and throws it out there, it makes everything look like it's real. And we know, you and I both know firsthand, it ain't real.
No,
It's whatever you push out.
it was
Now
something. It
it
was
travels.
right. There was some philosophy from back in the day of believe none of what you hear and half of what you see, and so
And
uh,
that
that is an old way that we used to live. That was something my grandma told me, and
hey, the ancestors knew better.
yeah, and it's like they knew better with having less exposure amongst folks because I mean the Negroes knew their place back in the day, so they were cool and they weren't necessarily cool, but they at the end of the day they learned to make the most of not being around folks, especially at their worst. I don't know
Or
all
discernment,
right,
right? Of what's real versus what's BS. And we have lost that skill because we just became so trusting somehow, some way of everything that media has told us is true. And we're realizing that, oh, wait, it's not. And we're also realizing right now at this moment in history that the majority of things we've been taught is all BS.
right, right.
So that's the thing I think I'm more offended about is, and I didn't buy into most of it. I was this doesn't make sense. From the time I was a kid, I was like, this don't make no sense. Why
right,
are we doing this?
exactly,
What?
right,
But it's the norm. It's the thing to get everybody engaged and in unison to go buy into BS
right,
to keep us entrapped in, I don't know, economic servitude.
right. Well, whether it's from the industrial prison complex back when a Negro would supposedly will have taken a chicken, but they trump up his charge and say he took a pig or something, and the pig is a felony because you can eat a pig and then you can also make things out of its skin and
Hmm.
hide and stuff. So it
Oh,
ain't
I
just
didn't know that.
yeah, it's not just the chicken where you can only predominantly eat, but the pig is something. A pig and a cow would be a felony, and that would put you on lockdown. So a lot of brothers went in jail for stealing a yard bird and ended up in prison for Charlotte's Web for what's the pig?
Oh man,
What's the pig?
don't mess with my childhood. I
Babe,
love
the
Charlotte's
babe. Who's the
Web.
pig in the? You know,
Salutations. Uh,
the bottom line is like
Wilbur.
Wilbur. You know, the bottom line is like we have been accused and have made stuff, and I mean, even don't get me wrong, and I'm not by any means,
Emmett
but
Till.
you know, but Emmett Till, you know, how crazy that is, and you know, and even and it's even when we see us at what we're told is our worst behavior, like a Diddy, when they told you all the stuff that he had done and stuff, it looked like all the stuff that I'd seen in white people's movies or in films by Hollywood, that told either autobiographical and they told you the stories and the history of this industry and the unscrupulous things that these executives would do to artists and to artist management and to others in that business and that stuff. And so, you know, when we finally saw one in our light, when we saw one that we knew and we heard all this stuff, this shit was mind blowing. And it's like, but
Mind
what,
blowing for who?
huh?
Mind blowing for who?
It's mind blowing to the average person who,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, who may not have insight on this industry and know that these things are that this industry is really
That's how the industry works, right?
right.
Okay, got it.
You know, I mean, you
Pretty
know.
bad place, people.
It can be horrible. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
Horrible.
there also, sadly enough, isn't enough about the success stories and the good stuff that's happened for us. We don't know enough about that because that would be it's hard. No one wants to exploit that. They don't want to exploit the good stories and the good stuff of how we did come up out of a mess and make things happen. You know, how we did survive, and
I don't know if I can name one. Can you? Because I can't think of one off the top of my head that would surpass or trump. Oh, pardon my language. Uh,
yeah, that's a bad word.
it is a bad word.
That's a bad word.
I can't think of one that would say, yeah, here's a great success story that people would care about or cover. Because let's face it, the majority of the stories out of the industry are exploitive. They're horrible. It's about people using people, taking advantage of them. Literally, the contracts, the everything, all of it is bad. There hasn't been a whole lot of good coming out of that. And I'm looking for that good story. I want to know that good story where somebody rose up like a phoenix from the flames who went, hey, I got out of this unscathed. And I don't know one person who has. Everybody's
Right.
been charred and singed. It's messed up. It was always messed up. It's been messed up long before you and I were on this planet.
Yeah, it's you know, but there are some stories that I think we're going to spend some time
Are
moving.
there?
Yeah,
Let's
we're
look
going to
for them.
find. We're going to have to find them.
Yeah,
That's
we gotta
all.
go
We're going to have to
dig
find them.
hard, like an archaeologist.
Exactly.
Because I don't
Yeah.
know of any. Like I can't
Well,
think of one other than no, I really can't. Because even with the wins, there have been a whole bunch of singes.
no doubt, but that is that in part and parcel of us becoming cynics to the point where we
No,
don't
no,
where
no,
we
no. We're
don't
not a
even
label.
where
We're
we
not
don't even
labeling ourselves as cynics. We're being
well
realists.
we're being real, but the idea of it all, are we beaten down so deep that we don't care to look for the silver
No,
lining?
no, no, we are not.
Okay.
We absolutely are not. But what we are is dealing with the reality that we're in, where there's a bunch of bullshit that's happened to people for decades. And for us to sit here and go, oh, I don't know, I don't want you to think of me as a cynic, massa. That's bullshit. That we have to call it as it is. We got to be
Well,
real about this stuff.
and, you know, we kind of started out talking about Jesse the late great Reverend Jesse Jackson being allowed to lie in state at the Capitol, right? And just out of some of the conspiracy, like the ignorance of some of these folks, even if you didn't want to do it for what we feel is the right reasons of what the humanitarian efforts and the things that Jesse's done through all these years, from I Am Somebody to all of the good stuff. For him, from what I understand, spending a lot of years in Silicon Valley trying to get blacks more involved in the Silicon Valley industry of things, social media platforms and other
Hmm.
things and technology. He was down in there lobbying and trying to do that for years. But there, I had been hearing, and for me, I just want to block certain stuff out. But there's been conspiracies that,
Like what?
like, Jesse was aware of Martin Luther King getting ready to get whacked, and that's why he supposedly wasn't there. A large part of the instructions were, do not shoot anybody who does not have a tie on. Like, so Jesse didn't have a tie. He's the only one that didn't have a tie on at the
Mm.
shooting. There's all kind of stupid shit that's out here right now,
Is
or
it stupid?
that's been
Wait,
around, that he wiped his blood. He wiped Martin Luther King's blood on him to look more involved.
hold
That
up. Is it stupid?
Well, look. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. But the point I was trying to make was, even if you don't like him for us, what about allegedly what he did for y'all? If that was the case, then if he was working in cahoots with J. Edgar Hoover and others to help eliminate Martin Luther King, how about it's like me personally am not going to ever want to believe that these brothers worked against each other and all the rest of that stuff. I just don't want to. I know that there are a lot of things, and I guess this is me emulating. This is me emulating certain people. I don't want to know that. I just don't want that to be what's real, to know that even our biggest advocate and person that was looking to do certain things for us, and the different legislation that this man got changed, and the effectiveness of what he was on certain levels, to know that a brother was back there plotting like that, I don't want to know. I just hope that wasn't the case. But the bottom line is, just even out of the idea of it all is to not allow that man to be um, acknowledged and receive the type of send off that
Mm-hmm.
great people do and great people have in this country, or people that they've claimed to be great have in this country. Or, like you said, damn them. And really, maybe you ain't supposed to be in that place and all the rest of that stuff, because maybe that place is only for the evildoers and the wrongdoing people. And once again, Negroes, maybe you don't want to be in this place where we honor the ones who did all the craziness to people and this, that, and the other. Maybe that place ain't for us. And so,
Oh, no, no. Maybe it is. But also, maybe we don't want anybody to throw Jesse a send off like Diddy did for Biggie. Yeah, and I'm going to leave those three dots. Dot, dot, dot. Where it's like, I'm going to give you the biggest send off ever. Right. And charge it back to you. No, we don't want that to happen. No. We just want we just want people to partake in this and be honest and sincere and pure of heart, who celebrate a great legacy and a great man.
hmm And I think that is a great place for us to jump out of this episode of the Chop
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah,
With,
because
with
you're obviously eating a sandwich now. You were like bored. I hear you.
No, it's fish. It's a fillet of sole.
Oh, hello, hello, filet of soul,
And
SOUL.
you know exactly. ChopMaster J, Big Brother Soul, eating some fillet of sole,
I
and
love it. It's kind of like cannibalism for you though, because you are the filet of soul.
there you go, baby. And the idea of it all is, I want to thank you, Judy Klein, for sitting up and chopping it up with us over here at the Chop Shop today. Uh,
Oh, my honor, my honor.
and we'll look forward to doing this again real soon. And for all y'all out there, we're gonna rock something for our man Jesse Jackson, who helped free me into myself and helped motivate me into the life that I was meant to lead. And help me
And clear the path for people to run for president.
there it is.
There you go.
All right, Jesse. I am somebody. Thank you, Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, big ups, Jesse.
And
And thanks for sending your children to Howard. Thank you.
and the idea is, thanks for checking in and hanging out with us here at the Chop Shop with ChopMaster J, Judy Klein, and your man So Too. All right, now, peace up, y'all. Love yourselves.
Ooh. Oh yeah. This is Big Brother telling you it's time to reach above. Look around you and ask, do you care? Really? Do you really, really care? I do. And we do. So should you. So should you. You should try.